You're good. All right. Welcome to tonight's call. Tonight, we're talking about managing life and workplace stress. And Dottie's going to share with us. I know that many of us thought maybe during COVID, right, lockdowns, life would slow down and we could kind of get our bearings. And it seems like it just put it into hyperdrive. I know it did for me as a teacher and a mama and all the things I've got going on. And so now it seems like we live life in hyperdrive, and it definitely is stressful a lot of the time. So I'm going to turn it over. This is Dottie Bitterly. She's a registered nurse and a certified diabetes care and educational specialist, and has been for about 35 years or over 35 years. She has also studied for over 22 years many modalities in integrative medicine, including master sound and vibrational healing and meditation. So I'm going to let Dottie take it over and kind of explain what that is and what you do with it.
It's a mouthful, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I am all of those things. I tell you, it's been a ride, and I'm still working full time in diabetes as a registered nurse, and it's been a wonderful ride. I can tell you that it has really been very interesting. I learned so much from my patients. But what's interesting is the stress. Let me get the dog just a minute. Sorry, my puppy was at the door. So anyway, so my diabetes career has been really interesting because I learned so much about from my patients, as most medical professionals do. But what is pretty amazing is when I sat with my patients and held hands with them, something beautiful and magical happened. I didn't really know what that was. Now, I was a trained LVN many years ago, and we did the bed baths and those types of hands-on care. And so I knew that, that was beautiful, healing touch, those kinds of things, but there was something magical that happened. So I started exploring that. And then that took me on another path of healing, integrative medicine. And so in Western medicine, we have some great things. We've got great trauma places. We've got great diagnostic tools, but there are other places in the world that still use very, very old medicine before we actually had a prescription pad, right? In pharmacies on every corner. And so I started studying those. And then I understood what happened at the bedside when I held someone's hand. Human touch, human appropriate touch is very healing. And so there's a lot of interesting things that I've come across for me and my family that I use. Love Western medicine, still a nurse, still believe in all of it. But I love these other modalities. So I studied, and I love to educate. So I thought, well, let me just study more. Big rabbit hole. And it's been very beneficial. And so for me and my family, I have found that what works for us might be fun to share with other people. So I kind of started looking at those things and studying more and more and more and traveling. And I want to tell you that as a disclaimer, you have to talk to your healthcare professional. You have to visit with them and talk to them and say, hey, I'm feeling a little stressed coming out of this COVID thing or whatever, coming out of whatever stress. Maybe it's a loss or death of a child, God forbid, or maybe it is a divorce. Any stressors in your life, if you start going, kind of just not moving forward, visit with your healthcare professional. We think that it's really important to get going and talking to them. But the first conversations that I want you to have with them, I want you to talk about food and nutrition. I want you to talk about, hey, I'm not feeling quite myself. They should be having conversations with you about what your nutrition looks like each day. What does your stress look like each day? Because often, more than not, when we've been stressed, we haven't been taking care of our nutritional needs, right? Does anybody go off their good solid plan when some stressful event hits? Right. See, some stress is good because it kind of gets us out of bed and gets us going, but this chronic stress gets us completely off kilter, right? Like off track, like the track furthest from you. So what needs to happen is you go, is this chronic stress becoming a problem? How am I doing? Check in with yourself, check in with your provider and talk to them, but also mention nutrition because your low B vitamins, maybe you're anemic, all of those things can cause anxiety and be like a symptom of an underlying problem. And you may have some other health concerns. So please make sure you talk to your healthcare professional about these things because it could be some, maybe even easy fixes. So today we're talking about stress and some life hacks that I have found in workplace and home that work for me. So take what you want off this buffet, take what works for you. Some of them are crazy and just simple, silly, but they work for me. And I can tell you that sometimes you just have to laugh at yourself. First of all, I want to let you know that Juice Plus is a company that's been around for over 30 years. We just had a 30-year birthday. Those products that I have here that you absolutely are probably familiar with, if you know any of us, we love our products. They are what? Good foundation for health. I want to tell you this does not take the place of healthy eating. This does not take the place of you being unorganized with your food on your plate. But this is a foundation of health because it's a life hack. And let me tell you why I'm mentioning this. Number one, I cannot go on without mentioning things that work for me. What does it do for you if I never mention what works for me? We're all in this together. Y'all, we have more of the same stressors than what? We all are in this together. So I want to tell you what it's done for me. I have type 1 diabetes. It's an autoimmune disease. I've had it for about 12 years. I've been on these products for a very, very long time. This does not take the place of food. But in science, we have found in research that when you do these foundational products, that if you eat healthy, you're going to crave more healthy. That's a life hack right there, right? Now, the opposite is true. If you eat French fries every day or fast food every day or unhealthy every day, you go down that rabbit hole as well. But I need every bit of help, right? Because healthcare workers, we don't eat the best, do we? You know, a lot of them smoke and do all kinds of things. Believe me, I need every hack I can get. Do you know that Juice Plus comes in a gummy? I have those in my drawer at work. I do not succumb to those beautiful cookie trays all of these reps and all these people bring in. I'm not doing it. I love that. Thank you very much. That's very kind. And they go to other departments. They're not in my department. So this is life hacks. The other thing is this shake right here, which I happen to love. And we're coming out with a new shake as well. What's interesting about this shake is it helped me during difficult times. We had a hurricane. Many of you know this story. It hit our area pretty bad. This was a while back, a couple years ago. And guess what? Oh, I have a lot of allergies. And I told you I have diabetes. I was a little anxious, right? About what am I going to do? What am I going to do about my food? And luckily, I'm prepared, had bags of this. This is mixes with water. I was able to keep my blood sugar at a solid 90 much of the time because I was so active cleaning up and having my shake because it was my meal replacement. I can tell you, I get emotional about it. I have a picture of me with a container and it has Juice Plus in it. It's like, thank you so much. So much. So there's no way that I can't tell you for emergency preparedness. For God's sake, it's in a bag. You can get individual little bags, serving sizes, or scoop yours out. That's easy to travel with. So I have now extra in my emergency prepared pantry, like you should with your cans of food, right? So this is a life hack. Let me tell you another thing. Juice Plus is a company that's been around for many, many, many years. We just talked about it. Guess what? For $52 a year, you can become a partner, a distributor. I did that for a second stream of income. Well, during all of this wonderful things we've been through in the last, I would say 3 or 4 years, I am not an ICU nurse and I'm not an ER nurse, and many were furloughed. Many healthcare professionals were furloughed. If you weren't front line, you were furloughed. I didn't even know what that meant. I'm a nurse. We never are without work. So guess what? I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know how to do unemployment, and everyone else was doing the same thing. And to make a long story short, one of my fellow Juice Plus reps worked for them. And I remembered that. So I texted her, I go, what am I supposed to be doing to see if I could get a check or if I'm able, or I don't even know what to do. So to make a long story short, she actually told me how and when, 2:30 in the morning, get on. And I got a couple of checks. It took a while, people. It took a while, and it wasn't my income, and it surely wasn't what I had signed up for. I think I got 2 checks during this time. Well, guess what? I got a Juice Plus check in the mail. My second stream of income came through for me. I had not even thought of what if I lose my job or what if something happens. Goodness, we can talk about this all day long. That's another hack, another life hack. Those are things that stress me out. Those are things that you think about, right? You think about, how are things going to go? How's my nutrition? How are my kids eating? Where's, what are we doing with our money nowadays, and what's coming? Having a second stream of income might be for you something that your husband and you can talk about. Maybe y'all are trying to start an entrepreneur, a new business. Maybe you're worried about insurance. This company offers at a certain level, an obtainable level, full corporate benefits for $52 a year. So I cannot go further without talking about checking off those stressful topics that we just mentioned. And it's all just one company. It's wild. It's really wild. So I want to tell you some things that have helped me through the years. Some of them are really fun. Some of them are really kind of crazy. So I've got my nutrition down because I eat very, very healthy. And during those times that are stressful, whether it's going to my grandson's game or whatever it would be, maybe I'm just working late, I have a stash in my drawer, right? So that's good. I do know that I have a second stream of income coming in. That makes me feel good. But you know what really warms my heart? Helping others help themselves, helping them be successful with their management of disease. Food is medicine. Food is medicine. Medicine is food. Start there, always start there, and then move on with your healthcare professionals' ideas. Y'all have to come as a team together and figure out what's right for you. Okay? So these are checking off those, but it's also making me feel good because I'm able to share these things with everyone. Because that's what I do. My passion and purpose is to share health and wellness with others. That's what I do. I have a servant's heart like many of you do. So in my day, as the day goes on, sometimes stress gets to you. Taking a deep breath works. I hold my breath. I'm the master of holding my breath. Anybody else out there hold their breath? It's not good. It's not good. That's when your body is actually taking a security camera of everything around you when you take a deep breath. Believe it or not, there is reasons why we're supposed to be breathing. Yeah, not just to keep us upright, but to also do a scanning. That's what your body does. It's pretty amazing. We're amazing machines. So deep breathing, all those types of things are great. But sometimes you need a break. I often get up from my desk and I walk around the hospital, sometimes outside if it's a pretty day. Some people aren't able to do that. I also do small things of love. You new moms would love this out there. I actually, lately in the last year, I give some time of homemade meals to new moms. I package them up, freeze them, and then take them to them. I did that at Christmas for a couple of moms that were some of them weren't even new moms. They were just overwhelmed moms because they had a lot of kids. And who's not overwhelmed with that? Who wouldn't welcome a homemade meal and dessert, right? So doing for others is often helpful for me to help manage my stress. in the fact that it gives me peace. When I give to myself as well. Love notes. Love notes help my stress. When I find love notes, when I write love notes, it may be in my bathroom at work. It may be leaving it on a shelf in a grocery store. It may be affirmations. It may be in my children's lunch kits, which now they're adults and I don't get to do that anymore. Something that was frustrating and hard to get organized and always have that ready to go. Now it's one of the things I miss the most. So I put one in my lunch kit because I take my lunch every day. I put a note to me in my lunch kit every day. So leave it in people's cars where they can find it. When you give love, it comes full circle. I have another hack, which I know everyone laughs at this, but I have crock pots. I love to cook. Not everyone loves to cook. The biggest nutritional hack can be crock pots. Buy them. They're inexpensive and they can make great meals. You can hide a lot of vegetables in them and make extra and put it in your freezer. Then you don't have to cook all the time. Meal prep is key. Also, I try to go to bed earlier. That helps me not be grumpy with stress. I try to go to bed earlier. I'm a night owl. That's when I kick in. Right now is when I kick in. This is going to be a class for 8 hours on here. I try to go to bed earlier because I still have to get up early and go to work and do all that I have to do in the morning. I do try to have quiet time with scripture meditation in the morning. That I do believe happens. Not as often as it should. I would like to get into a routine of it happening earlier, and I would like to move my exercise, which is huge for stress, earlier in the morning as well. So I challenge you to do those things too. Early in the morning when it's quiet, when maybe your home is a little more quiet, is when you get your answers. I don't know if you know that or not, but that is when you have your answers bubble up. Another thing I like to do is potty breaks at work. Now, I know this is being recorded, so I'm going to be nice, but go into those bathroom stalls and say the Lord's Prayer. You can actually self-talk to yourself, whatever you need to do. You might be quiet, otherwise they'll probably call security. But I am telling you, in your stalls, nobody bothers you when you're in your stalls. No one does. Another hack that I do is I pretend I'm on the phone at work. They don't bother me because I may have patients on the phone. There's nobody there. I am just needing a minute to sit here and say, dear Lord. Yes. So I might be calling my Lord on that phone, but I can tell you, no one bothers you when you're in the bathroom stall. No one bothers you when you're on your phone. Don't tell my boss. It's important to have things that are not negotiable. Like for me, my eating plan is not negotiable. It isn't. Now, I'm on my list written in pen. My to-do list, my name's at the very top, me. And that is in pen. And I love, because you know, I'm 58 years old. I love my little post-it notes with my little list. And I love to do this. But my name is on top and I don't ever mark my name out. I am on that list and stay on that list because that's not negotiable. My meal plan is not negotiable because that is how I work. If my meal plan is off color, like really off, my blood sugar is not controlled. If that stresses me out, well, stress makes your blood sugar go up. So it's just like an endless circle. So I have something called diabetes, like I mentioned, that makes me make sure that my me is on that list. So here's a few things I want you to do. I want you to use only positive passwords. You know how you have to do passwords and you have like 12,000 of them and you try to use the same one? Positive. I love me. I matter. I'm looking good. I'm a hottie. If people would see my passwords, they would just crack up. Your passwords need to be positive and loving. I look good in short shorts. How about that one? Yeah. So for me, you have to log in like thousands of times at work for security. So that is positivity. That's huge. So every day is another chance to get a little stronger. I want you to know that. every day you have a new day to get stronger in whatever area that you're weak in. Try to confide instead of hide. So confide in someone, something, maybe yourself, maybe a chaplain, maybe a therapist, maybe a friend. So confide instead of hide. You need to do this by living in a rich communication with your God, yourself, or a friend. You matter. I matter. Any questions about any of that? I think that we can all do better. Taking care of ourselves and one another. So when you're taking care of yourself, you're actually bringing along a friend. And that's what we're doing here today. Things that work for me, I'm sharing with you so that I don't have to stress as much about the same topics you're stressed about. So I want to talk to you now about things that are maybe less traditional, maybe in your neck of the woods. I actually do these things on a regular basis. They are meditation, types of meditation. If you have a moment and like to research like I do, things that help you feel better, meditation, sound medicine, vibrational healing. There's much research on this, and this is originally probably our first medicine, even 560 BC. I mean, it's like wild, and it is very, very old. And so it's very interesting. But research today shows that sound through chanting, drumming, guitar, harps, flutes, bowls can synchronize the brain waves. And this can achieve profound state of relaxation. Do we need relaxation? Anybody? Yeah, we really do. Does your mind turn on when you lay down? I have to write my to-do list for the next day. Otherwise, I can't shut it off. And so we all need this relaxation. So if you do this on a regular basis, your body will get used to what you're trying to do. And you can train yourself to kind of start winding down, getting off your phone, getting off your reels that you're watching. Is anybody addicted to reels? I think that's fun. They're fun. I love music. But all of that, too much stimulation. I need quiet. So we all need more relaxation. This can help with your approach to stress. Sound therapy medicine has been around for so long, and we are seeing it in the Western world and have for a few years in trauma therapies, in hospitals, in cancer wards, cancer wings. And it's really profound. I met a mom the other day when I was traveling through Kerrville, and her son had, I don't even know how he survived this particular accident, but when he was in a coma, that's the one thing he remembered is the harps playing in his meditation and his music therapy. He remembers that. And if you are any medical people, you would know the injury that he had to his brain. I can't even believe he survived, much less function, very high functioning now. He has his own band now. It's led him to be a person that is musical and in a band and leads a band. Pretty profound. But we see some of this vibrational ultrasounds in Western medicine. Ultrasounds, they're useful tools, diagnostic tools that we use, but why not for meditation for health? So today we see a whole lot of it, but I think we need to see more. Some of you may be new to singing bowls, which is what we're going to play for you in just a little bit. Singing bowls are basic, beautiful bowls. They may be made of metal and or crystal, and you just circle around. You've probably seen this sometimes on TV, and it makes a noise. What I love about this is it can really be profound movements in energy, and it may, some of those sounds and tones mixed together may actually feel more like disharmony, not beautiful like concert music, but some of the notes are quite irritating. And it's beautiful because that is the ones that you need for moving your own personal energy. Everyone is different, and it can really help your energy be moved and balanced. and you can actually relax. And I think that you're going to enjoy that little tidbit. It's only for a few minutes. Usually sound baths are anywhere from probably 30 minutes to an hour and a half. Usually in my area, we're not used to sound baths, and not a lot of people do them down here. And so I only do 30 minutes. It's very important to go slow. There's quite a bit of depth to them. Also, you get to meet my new baby boy, and his name is Chow. He's a gong that was shipped to me about a month ago, and he's a profound healer in himself. So these singing bowls are actually digitally, I can't even say that word, matched to the music scale. And that's C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Y'all know that. Y'all played on the piano a little bit, I'm sure. They are relatable to your chakras, and they're going to be balancing and very, very effective with your electromagnetic field, I'm sorry. And so I want to introduce you to that, but I want to say first, do y'all know what the very first time you have ever experienced vibrational healing and soothing music? Do y'all know? It was when you were in your mother's womb. Her heartbeat. You were bathing in beautiful fluid, and her heartbeat is what was very comforting. And so we long for that ever since, right? And if you have a little baby puppy or something that you have had to raise, maybe the mother rejected it, or maybe it was lost or found, or whatever the situation is, it likes a little warm bottle beside it or something, right? We're no different. We're no different at all. So many of you are led to hear comforting sounds. So know that we're all connected, and we all need that in our lives. And please use this. They have lots of YouTube type things that can help with a lot of your transitions, whether you're recovering from cancer or whether you have a lot of stress in your life, to help you with the meditation. Now, in this little clip that I'm showing you, it's just a little clip. It's interesting because we have church bells in there. If you listen, we have a dog, I think, scratching. That dog that was in here a while ago, scratching. I think my son keeps walking by. There's cars. You can hear cars too if you really listen. And I want to tell you, with meditation, people are always so frustrated with, oh, my monkey mind, I just can't settle down. Actually, it's really beneficial to hear those interruptions in your day. Because what will it will do is help you go, okay, bring myself back, and learn and teach yourself. That's life. You will never be in silence. And if you are in silence, most human beings are not able to handle it for very, very long. You can look at that research. It's very fascinating. Nothing is total silence. And in those places, you will not last long. So life is busy and loud, right? So in your meditation times, whether it may be 2 minutes in your bathroom stall or 2 minutes talking to nobody, you may actually be able to kind of learn to calm yourself. I think that you'll find that fascinating. So it's kind of funny. I had to laugh. It's like, well, this is real life. Cars driving by and the dog or my son, whoever was scratching, kind of funny. But this will teach you how to meditate in real life. So I do have a little slide I want to show you, and it is something I would like you to take a picture of or write down. I think that Feather's going to probably pop it up here. If not, I will read it to you, because I think you might need to remember this. Within you, there is a stillness and a sanctuary to which you can retreat at any time and be yourself. You might need to pull that up on your phone once in a while and remind yourself. All your answers are here and within. We just need to quiet ourselves a bit, right? To regroup. So let's go ahead, and hopefully you're not driving, because that's not recommended in any type of meditation. Hopefully you're somewhere quiet that you can sit and just close your eyes and enjoy. You can watch if you choose. I don't think there's too much to see. And maybe you can benefit from just a few minutes of sound healing. Thank you for listening to my 5-minute little sound bowl and my baby chow.
That was amazing. It reminded me a lot of the wind chimes growing up off my grandma's porch. So that, yeah. Bev,
Beautiful.
did you have a question or something?
Me? It was too short.
It was, yeah. It was.
I'll be honest, so I was afraid to close my eyes. I thought I'd go to sleep on the Zoom call, so I didn't close my eyes.
Daniel, you have a question?
No, I have a comment. Sounded like who I love very much, Pink Floyd album. If you know who Pink Floyd is.
Well, I have a story about some of those musicians. There are some sounds, frequencies that are for spiritual growth, and some are for healing. And a lot of them that knew decided to go with one or the other. And a lot of them are for spiritual strengthening. And so beautiful musicians, if you go back, and some of those physicians
yeah.
already knew this.
Yep, beautiful. Yep.
Yes.
Well, Daddy, I appreciate you. Anybody else have any
Okay.
questions or comments? I sure appreciate you jumping on and sharing some of these hacks with us. And I was taking mental notes because there's definitely a lot of these that I need to remember, and putting myself first on the checklist. That is
In
gonna be
pen,
my-
girl, in pen.
That's right.
We're all in this together. And as they say, we're all just locking arms and walking each other home.
Right. Yeah. And the fellowship piece of it for me, I have to be connected to other people. I can't. That was the number one thing, especially as a teacher. You know, I would go from my bedroom to the kitchen table to teach on the computer, and there was not enough connectivity for me. I've got to hug people and touch people. And so,
Well, you
I'm
know, I
glad.
agree. I agree, Amanda. I think we're all what we call loosely herd animals. But
Mhm.
something that's beautiful that I didn't expect practicing, because I'm at a spa and other avenues, sometimes in church or wherever, playing bowls. And what is
Yep.
so interesting that I did not expect is we would have 18-year-olds, 15-year-olds in there, and we have 80 and 90-year-olds in there, and they're all collectively together in the same room. And that is magical.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Mhm.
So, and I know, like, shutting down churches, you talked about meditation and you know, devotions and stuff in the morning. And when they closed the churches, that was like my last, I was grasping. I'm like, no, don't shut me out of my churches. And of course, we went back. We're such a small town. We went back in person pretty quickly, but I can only imagine living in a bigger town, what it was like being shut off from everybody else. And so thank you for sharing all these techniques with us. And Edwina wants to know if you can play it again, but we will have a recording, Edwina, and you can watch it again from the recording. And we don't want to keep everybody on here too long, just because we know everybody else has busy lives too. So Dottie, thanks for sharing. And any last questions before we hop off? All right.
Thank
then
you.
We sure appreciate hearing from you.
Thank you for sharing.
You.